How has design played a role in spreading awareness of health in society? In pharmacies, supermarkets and convenience stores, natural health products are displayed side by side with non-prescription drugs. The use of herbal medicinal products and supplements has increased tremendously over the past 3 decades, with not less than 80% of people worldwide relying on them for some part of primary health care. Today, some say big pharma politicians and the government are the gatekeepers who keep the system in place via money, power and perception. For example, big pharma is a term used to refer to the global pharmaceutical industry. Big pharma and medical device companies make billions of dollars every year. They've also spent billions on fines, settlements and jury verdicts. For example, the opioid crisis in the United States is one of the most high-profile public health scandals of the 21st century, with millions of people unknowingly becoming dependent on opioid painkillers. Pharmaceutical fentanyl is a synthetic opioid approved for treating severe pain, also diverted for misuse and abuse in the United States. Events in history have led society to lose trust in authority. It started in the decade of the Vietnam War, the civil unrest, the 60s counterculture, which included baby boomers, generational change, and the redefinition of freedom. In many countries, this period was one of the deep political instability due to the post-war youth bulge. Our Backs was founded in January 1970 by Marilyn Wicks and Marilyn Salzman Webb in Washington, D.C. Their mission statement was to provide news and information about women's lives and feminist activism, to educate the public about the status of women around the world, to serve as a forum for feminist ideas and theory, to be an information resource on feminist, women's and lesbian culture, and to seek social justice and equality for women. The first issue of Off Our Backs was published on February 27, 1970, consisting of a 12-page tabloid first issue. The first issue included articles about the birth control pill, abortion rights, Korean women's movements, and the advocacy for women's rights protests and oppositions. Graphic design in the 1980s marked the early beginnings of the digital revolution and the introduction of business and personal computers. As a result, there was an influx of technology in the development of graphic software. In 1991, New York City, ACT UP led the largest protest to that time against AIDS-related discrimination. Declaring a day of depression, protesters led mass marches and delivered coffins to the city, federal, state offices. The response was triggered by an awareness that our lives were in danger and that the political and medical institutions that we assumed would take the necessary steps to stem a nascent epidemic were in fact stalled. Probably best known for the silence equals death graphic that became to define the AIDS and HIV activist movement in the 1980s and early 1990s. Grand Fury was an artist from the activist artist collective from New York, consisting of 11 members. This graphic was one of many created by Grand Fury in response to the lack of awareness regarding the AIDS epidemic. A health promotion battle was to be fought with the help of T-shirts in the 1990s. The cancer campaign, launched by the American fashion industry in 1994, brought its Target logo T-shirts to the UK in 1996. The campaign was endorsed and supported by media, celebrities, supermodels, fashion editors, top designers and photographers. The first breast cancer research centre opened as part of the Institute of Cancer in London. Moreover, it overcame the taboos of cancer and sex, breasts, and raised awareness of the disease and the necessity for regular self-examination. Just Say No was an advertising campaign prevalent during the 1980s and early 1990s as part of the USA-led war on drugs, aiming to discourage children from engaging in illegal recreational drug use by offering various ways of saying no. In 1966, Barry Miles and John Hopkins decided to start a newspaper. They called it International Times and launched it in April. It was the first British underground newspaper and began a news media revolution. Other British underground papers that launched in the 1960s were International Times, Oz, Friends of Friends, Gandalf's Garden, Black Dwarf and Ink. It also includes the comics that grew out of the papers and various examples of the graphics, ads, posters and flyers produced by each publication. Offset printing and underground publications of the 60s created a wave of social revolution relating to social and political ideas. Periodicals such as Oz, Off Our Backs, Earth First, Furies, The Obstacle, The East Village Other, The Whole Earth Catalogue, and the Black Panther Party were crucial tools in communicating the movement to a broader public. These magazines helped spread truthful awareness to the public about ongoing diseases and certain health issues, helping to protect people and change lifestyles.